Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills, learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and personal branding to take your message to the world. For today's episode, we're entering the world of public speaking, and I'm going to be talking about whether or not speech anxiety is a good thing or if it's a very, very evil thing that just needs to go away already. You may assume that just because it has the word anxiety in it, that it is a very evil thing. But speech anxiety is not the problem. What the problem is the quantity. In the real world, whenever we do something, anything, whether it's good or bad, and we overdo it, it turns into a bad act. Just to illustrate this, imagine that there's this guy named Joe. Joe, his entire life, has been working out from home. But one day, he wishes that there was this one place where weights were already there were pull-up bars, and there were other people who also worked out as well. After doing some research, he realizes that a place like that exists. It's called a gym. He gets so excited. He packs his bags and he starts going to the gym more and more and more. Rather than working out just once a day, in the gym, he starts working out 7 times a day. 7 times a day of lifting heavy weights, non-stop pull-ups, and running a lot of miles. It gets to a point where he just starts overdoing it. Instead of taking some time to rest, he just keeps lifting all the time. And due to him overdoing it, eventually Joe sees that he's throwing up a lot more. But he's not picking up the clues. So he still keeps going back to the gym. As a few weeks goes on by, he takes a little picture to see how much he's making progress. He looks at the picture and compares it to a picture from a few weeks back before he joined the gym, and he is shocked. His body looks so much worse. Not only is he skinny, but he's skinny fat, one of the worst positions that you want to be stuck in. Joe is angry. I mean, how is he losing so much weight? How is he skinny fat? It's a gym's problem. The gym, there's something about it is broken. I'm going to go back to working out at home. Right here, is this the right sort of mentality to have? I mean, if Joe had any common sense, he'd realize that it's not the gym that's the problem, it's him overdoing it. And this is the same sort of analogy that you have to understand in terms of speech anxiety. It's not the speech anxiety that's the problem, it's the quantity of it. And the quantity of it seems to overwhelm you because you just don't know how to manage it yet. I want you to understand something. Speech anxiety is nature's way of telling you, wake up. You're about to do something that many people are never going to do in their entire life. You are going to conquer the #1 fear in the world. So wake up. I'm giving you energy to leverage. But us humans, we're very intellectual. We get all this energy and we're like, oh my, all this data, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to break it down. I'm going to dissect it, and I'm going to give myself anxiety with it. That's what we do. In reality, that should not be the case. And it's not going to be the case when you understand that your speech anxiety, it is born from an illusion. You heard that correctly. It is born from an illusion. What do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that your speech anxiety, what's the root cause of it? The root cause of it isn't the fear of failure. It is the fear of being judged for failure. Deep inside, you feel as though some people are going to laugh at you for, I don't know, for getting a point, stuttering, saying something dumb while you're on stage. And this fear is what's causing you to be like, oh no, the actual speech day is going to be the worst day of my life. Want to know something? That is not the case. Go back to the last time you gave a speech, or find someone who gives a lot of speeches. Ask them if the speech anxiety is the worst during the actual speech portion. And more often than not, they'll say no. Why is this the case? This is the case because what happens during the actual speech is that in the beginning portions, you may feel a lot of nerves. Completely normal. For the nerves, for you to fix that in the beginning stages, all you need to do is fix your posture. Instead of being like this and making it very hard for your voice to escape, fix your body language. Make your back straight, chest out, chin up. These sort of basic etiquettes of comfortable body language. The mind controls the body and the body controls the mind. It's not always easy to control the mind, but it's always easy to control the body. Once you fix your body language, you start noticing that the quivering voice starts to melt away, and there you have it. You can now give a great speech in front of the audience. And oftentimes when you get off stage, you say, well, that wasn't that bad at all. I can't believe I overthought that. You may have a few moments like this, or you may know a few speakers with moments like this. The reason that this is so significant is because the part that you think is the worst part of speech anxiety normally lasts just 15 seconds. So no, this is not the worst part. The worst part is the lead up to the speech. Now, why is this good news for you? This is good news for you because in the lead up to the speech, no one is watching you. No one is judging you. It's just you and your emotions by yourself. So you know what you can do? What you can do is you can take some time to practice in harsh conditions. And the more that you practice in harsh conditions, the more that you tame the speech anxiety. A few years back, there was a moment when I was coming back from a flight and my boy was like, "Yo, Armani, I need your help." He basically said, "I have an event tomorrow for this little youth leadership program and the speaker just dropped out. Do you mind giving a speech?" I was like, "What kind of audience is it?" He's like, "Oh, it's just little kids, like 7 years old." It's like 7 years old? All right, and how many of them are going to be there? "Oh, just 5. 7 years old and only 5 of them? Yeah, I could give the speech." And I didn't feel any sort of tension. I sort of just mocked the situation. Just little kids. I'll just go on and be fun. So there was no form of tension leading up to the speech. And as I gave the speech, in my ego, I did a great job. But once I was done, I go up to my friend and I'm like, "Yo, dude, I killed it, didn't I?" And he's like, "Yo, dude, are you feeling jet lag or something?" I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "You just didn't have that energy that you normally had. You didn't seem enthusiastic." I was like, "Is that so?" And when he gave me that critique, it's as though I just woke up. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't have that energy that I normally had. Energy. I shouldn't have mocked that speaking event. That speaking event should have been met with the same sort of enthusiasm that I had when I was speaking in front of 50 people or 500 people. That tension right there is nature's way of telling you, wake up. I'm giving you energy. That's how you want to view it. So imagine if leading up to the speech, you didn't have any energy. How would you act? You would act the way that you normally act. You would probably just watch TV, fiddle with your balls, watch Netflix, eat pizza, and you would not prepare for the actual speech. But since you have that tension, what happens is you're like, all right, this week isn't like any other week out there. This week is going to be different. This week, I'm going to get ready for the speech that is coming up. And as you're practicing with this tension, you start battle testing yourself. There's energy, and there's energy that you're harnessing. When you start harnessing it, you start realizing that this speech anxiety isn't too different from speech excitement. Anxiety and excitement have very, very similar physical sensations. You could say identical. When you feel anxiety, you have a rapid heartbeat, you have sweaty palms, you have butterflies in your stomach. And when you feel excitement, you have rapid heartbeat, butterflies in your stomach, and sweaty palms. Picture yourself when you're about to give a speech in front of 500 people, and picture yourself as you are on the tip of a 500-foot roller coaster about to plummet down. Similar sensations. The only difference is your perception. And the only difference in perception is your word choice. The words you use influence your perception. The words that we use are the most advanced form of technology available to mankind because it influences our internal world, our subjective world. So in situations like this, start leveraging the build-up, because when you start waking up and you're like, oh, wait a minute, the actual speech isn't the worst part. The worst part is from here to here. And this is the exact moment where no one is watching me, no one is judging me, and I have all the time that I need to practice, to fine-tune my speech. Wait a minute, this speech anxiety thing is actually good. It's not evil. It's a very, very good thing. You see, it is a very good thing. You want to just fix your mindset regarding it. You just want to bring awareness to yourself to a point where you start saying, all right, I'm going to start leveraging it. There's not much standing away from you conquering the number one fear in the world. Once you conquered the number one fear in the world, you have showcased courage. Not many will be able to say that in their lifetimes. Unfortunately, a lot of people have some of the greatest ideas out there, but they just don't have the confidence to express it to the world. Be different and leverage your speech anxiety, and you're going to soon realize that it was energy all along. It was nature's way of guiding you, champ. So start using it. Showtime. Thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.